a smart move. Yeah.
Well, either way, we do have to play Kings Row first. We are loading into it. Will be the first map of the series. Round robin play going on here in the Alienware Monthly Melee. Of course, brought to you by Alienware, presented by Curse. Big shout outs, of course, to our sponsors. Definitely check them out. And we'll see just what the defensive Envy has in store. But one thing that they've been doing a lot, something that a lot of other teams have not been doing, though some have been considering stealing it from Envy. Envy has been running Torbjorn on Kings Row.
Crazy.
And we haven't seen Torbjorn on Kings Row really ever in the meta up until just now. It was not a hero that teams really liked running Torb, and now Envy just sort of out of nowhere saying, you know what? Instead of running a McCree here, we're going to run the Torb. And it's actually been pretty effective for them when combined with the Junkrat in the hotel, the Roadhog, and all sorts of things that can really mess up a coordinated offense.
I think it's just so good against all the offensive Pharahs we see. And yes, Pharah is a pretty hard counter to Torbjorn, but the turret just takes attention. It demands an answer. And while Pharah is shooting rockets at a turret, you've got Harry Hook on his 76. Internet Hulk with his rivet gun can still do work as well. And then Taimu is going to be trying to land hooks on Roadhog. So I think it is a direct response to all the offensive Pharah and Mercy combinations we've been seeing on Kings Row. And it works out really well. When you have to waste half your clip on a building that can just be replaced instantly, you're not playing the most effective Pharah.
I'm a huge fan of Torb. I think we're going to see it on defense for a lot more maps and a lot more points. I think the armor system is as broken as Symmetra, but that teams really haven't figured it out as much. And that it will be, and we'll see it.
Plus 75 armor is huge because not only is it plus 75 HP in a sense, but armor also reduces a lot of glancing damage from your heroes like Tracer or 76, so it has that going for it as well as Taimu immediately gonna take out Bird to start out this game. So Roadhog coming into fashion quite quickly here. And from Taimu's point of view, why play McCree where now that you can't really flashbang delete people, you can just hook delete people instead?
Roadhog has taken over for the same spot as McCree on a lot of teams and a lot of players.
Yep, Hulk takes down Pharah immediately there. That's the Torb against Pharah. That seems like it should go the other way, and it just doesn't.
Torbjorn turret can be a huge problem, and even though Pharah can spam down the turret from range, the Torbjorn can spam down the Pharah while that's going on, so it's not quite the 10-0 matchup that you might think it would be in favor of the Pharah. As so far the defense from Envy not doing anything flashy, just getting a few valuable picks here and there, as Chance gonna get moved forward, immediately deleted by Taimu. And this is just brutal here for the offense, as anytime you get picked like that, it just delays things by another 20 seconds.
Now, and a similar problem with having defense and letting them get the Metra and the portal up and then having to deal with that on offense. With Internet Hulk and his ult and able to get the Torb ult, it's really hard to kill the turret when it's ulted. And it becomes a huge problem, and he's already there. He was able to build it first of anyone on his team. And you're going to see that throughout the match.
That turret gets up to 800 HP. The Torb himself gets up to 500 HP, and they both have double fire rate. It's a pretty good ultimate.
We do see Bird right now in the back going to try and take out this Roadhog if he can, and Bird will be taking down the Roadhog. He does have the Tac Visor available here for the offense if he wants to use it, although Taimu can get res back up, and this is not where you want to be as a 76. Junkrat coming in as well. Bird left with no friends in the alley, just gets mugged. And now the defense still in such a good spot here. They have so many ults up, and even if the offense does get something going, they're going to have to deal with Molten Core as well.
Well, they're going to have a small window where they have Resurrection and the defense doesn't. They should know that and try to push this, because that window is going to be closing very quickly.
I think that's exactly what they're doing. Hex there, moving in, not wasting any time. Tailspin Trap, though, going to grab Reaper. Mangachu just going to go down. Meanwhile, Harry Hook adding in a little bit. Here comes the tire. It's bouncing. Will it run anything over? Will take out nap time in the end with the aid of Taimu. So this has been brutal here for the NG Red. Envy's defense has been absolutely great, and it's good use of characters that you don't always see on this map.
Now, the saving grace for NG Red is that Envy had to use 2 to 3 ults there. Wolf still has Sword, Bird still has his, and they have a good opportunity to win.
Bird is going to bring out the Tac Visor. 2 kills here for NG Red. They are using quicker respawns to their advantage, trying to take out everyone here. Harry Hook, though, took out nap time, which means there will be no res here for the offense. That was a huge pick from Harry Hook. And the defense can stream in here. They might have a chance. Harry Hook, though, will get sliced down by Wolf. Wolf making good use of Dragon Blade in the back as a cleanup coming in from Mangachu, going to take out Internet Hulk. So NG Red will get the payload moving, but certainly Envy stalled that out for quite a while.
Yeah, absolutely clutch play there by Wolf to take down both the Mercy and the 76 there. Had they been able to turn that fight the other way, they would have still had high ground and able to poke away. A really nice play by Wolf.
Interestingly enough, Internet Hulk is not stopping at the Torbjorn. He's staying on Torbjorn and bringing it out. Usually you'd see people switch off Torb after point A, but Internet Hulk's saying, you know what, I still think Aardvark pays off.
I mean, Torb is really good in Boiler Room here, I feel, on defense, and he's almost to ult. That might be a reason that he's not switching off. I think for NG Red, they have to realize that they have speed boosts. They were so good with it as being aggressive against LG. Have that same approach, and then he's not going to be able to have speed boosts back away.
Mangachu running afoul of Taimu. Taimu going to take him out. The defense pretty well poised here, and here comes a whole hog, immediately cracking the Reinhardt shield, and the defense can just use that to move forward. The speed boost is out, and Taimu literally pushing people back with that ultimate, and NG Red going all the way back to the start.
Yeah, complete reset here. Tailspin is, of course, on his signature Pharah through this Streets phase, and they're already set up, and Molten Core is going to be ready.
Not only that, Coco is looking for the opportunity here with the Earth Shatter. Might be able to open up the offense at any moment. Looking for it. Will land the Earth Shatter. Knocks down at least 2 there, but the follow-up not quite there. The Sound Bear helping deal with that a little bit. Is now Wolf in the back of the Sound Bear from the offense. Takes out Tailspin, looking for more. Will slice down the turret, and a big Earth Shatter coming in from Chance. Going to knock down 2 defenders at least, if not 3. Wolf in the back looking to take out Roadhog, but big opening there from NG Red to start turning this in their favor, but the defense not out of it yet as Tailspin getting some trades on the payload, and the rest of the defense now starting to swarm back in.
Yeah, Wolf and Chance took a really long time in the back trying to kill the Roadhog, while the remaining 4 EnVyUs were just absolutely wrecking up front on the cart. So I think that the chase there may not have been the best option.
I mean, Wolf got 2 or 3 kills in front, and I thought the NG Red did a pretty good job of winning the team fight. But Jin was able to hide in the house. He was able to res 3 or 4 on the cart. That was able to get Envy enough time to get back and hold. Now they're going to have a pretty decent time to hold this up to defense. Wolf is going to have sword again. He's going to have to do work. Get the checkpoint.
At some point, teams need to start clearing this house before fights, because I've seen more reses from that house as play of the game on King's Row than any other place, and it's always the Mercy just hiding in there. If you can actually negate that before it happens, granted it's easier said than done, but at some point teams have to start clearing the house before they even try to deal with a fight.
So there wasn't even a huge initiation there, just Envy getting a few picks before the offense could really solidly go in. The fight never even began. Envy just really making things their own there. And this is the problem with Roadhog. Roadhog can get that early 1 or 2 picks to start out a fight, and then it's not even a fight. Your offense just has to back up, but the offense is going to look to go in here. But the Earth Shatter coming down from Coco knocks down 3 on the offense. Wolf saying, okay, that's it. I'm going to activate the Dragon Blade. Going in, looking for Chips. Chips able to get away. Sound Bear coming out from the defense, and the defense playing around the Dragon Blade in the offensive Russian absolutely beautifully, and NG Red gonna have to go back with down a key ultimate in Dragon Blade.
They still have Bird, they still have Chances. Chances played a big game on King's Row against LG. They're gonna need some of his magic here to be able to get this second checkpoint. Red Expert doesn't have Sound Bearer anymore. Now, luckily for them, neither does Envy, but Tailspin and Taimu and Internet Hulk have enough ults together to delay for...
Oh, here comes the Bros from Tailspin, going in, gets the double kill right away, saw the opportunity, took it, takes out Nap Time for good measure. Tailspin completing the triple, will go down the Chance's hammer. We'll see if the offense tries to turn this more back around. The Earthshatter does come down, knocks down 3. Bird with the follow-up, has a double kill. Will he activate the attack visor? He has things in his sights. Chipsogen has to just shift away, and Harry Hook will be able to take out Bird as the defense still going to hang in here.
Yeah, turret went into overload, really protected the cart all by itself. They got some kills and they tried to sit in the healing, but it's just not enough when that thing's doing double damage. It's still an issue. It's been up the entire game. Some sneaky Roadhog play coming in here.
And Mangachu too. Mangachu from behind.
You do see Mangachu coming in. He's not able quite to get what he wants there. Does get Harry Hook, but it will stop there. Wolf with a little bit of extra follow-up will be taking out Taimu. Does have Deadeye at the ready. Believe it or not, teams can still make it high noon if they want. His Bird now going to take out Coco. Slowly but surely, NG Red taking advantage of this point. And even though Mangachu only got 1, he did enough damage to really set up the team for some of the other kills. And here comes the Deadeye. Will Wolf be able to connect? Looking for those happy little skulls to show up. Not going to get them just yet. And now overtime is in progress. NG Red cannot get stopped for any reason, or the game will be over. Wolf was looking for Tailspin, was not able to connect with the right click. And Envy making this very, very hard on NG Red. Taimu will be taking out Wolf. The defense of Envy going right back in. 5 kills for Envy. And a barrage from Tailspin. That should seal the deal. And that's going to be a full hold before the second to last checkpoint.
Yeah, Envy doing very solid job. Internet Hulk putting the turret in boiler and on connector and then at the side of long to pretty much shut down everything in the middle of the street phase. And it's so hard to get the turret. As we see, Mercy sitting at bar on the top of the stairs have gotten so many reses in pro games that I really can't take it as much either, heck. Yeah. You really do need one player to go up the stairs to see if there's a Mercy hiding in bar. Because there's always one that it seems that is able to flip the fight around, and that res really did help Envy win the middle portion. Otherwise, I think NG Red probably would have gotten it through on that attack if Shipsujin doesn't get that off.
I've just seen the inside of that house on Play of the Game Kings Row more often than not, and I do think at some point that you have to spread someone out in there. If you notice the Mercy's gone, that's where she is, go deal with it, because if you can deal with her there and everyone else is dead, then, I mean, you've clearly won the fight in denying that resurrection, which is so important. I'm actually really surprised that we still see it happen, because it's been going on for well over a month now that Mercy just hides there the entire time in Streets phase and reses like that.
For Mercy, it's an area that's way out of the way, and if you do chase after the Mercy that's in there, you're likely to get taken out by other threats on the team.
Yeah.
You know, for example, if it's a defensive Mercy that's in there, you have to go through, say, a Roadhog. Roadhog is pretty good at picking off people that aren't behind the Reinhardt shield, and the Reinhardt himself isn't going to be able to get into the building like that, so it's easy to say, get in there and take out the Mercy, but you don't always have the tools to do that. Sometimes it would have to be, say, a Genji gang in the back. Yeah. But if a Genji tries again to the back, there's a lot of things that can take him out. So there's a lot going for the Mercy there, not the least of which is that if they do call out a flanker going there, Mercy can just join the rest of her team.
Well, it also is super safe because, as you mentioned, the meta right now does not really include super backline-ish heroes. Now, Genji we've seen the last couple games, but that's relatively new. And also, Tracers just aren't in here anymore, which are usually the people who are going to be in the backline trying to delete Mercies and Lucio. So if you see them start coming in, maybe the strategy becomes more viable. But you're right, with the compositions we're seeing, it's really difficult to actually even clear the Mercy out of that house.
All right, well, taking a look here at the defense as it rolls out for NG Red. It's going to be Bird on the 76, Nap Time on Mercy, Wolf on the McCree, Mangachu on the Roadhog, Chance on Reinhardt, and Bread Expert on Lucio. And this is where in the past we used to see Mangachu more on the Junkrat, and no Junkrat will be in play here for the defense. I think that's a little bit of a mistake because Junkrat is really, really good on King's Row.
Yeah, they're opting for double support instead. Now, what's interesting coming out from Envy is that Taimu is on this Hanzo, and he's going to stay on this Hanzo. He's been running it on offensive Kings Row. The last couple times you've seen him, see if he can get some work done. They're running single support as well.
Well, the interesting thing, of course, is that we do have the Hanzo in play. Hanzo, high risk, high reward. Taimu looking to make it happen. No longer playing Widow in any of these games, and will take out Wolf for first pick of the game. Internet Hulk follows up, takes out Chance, 2 kills for Envy, and now Envy with a great opportunity to move forward and snowball this. Taimu just looking for an extra arrow. If he can land it, has Lucio in his sights. Will Simple Geometry be in play? No, Bird is going to get back to the point. Takes him down. Now looking for Tailspin. Tailspin, though, turning the tables. And even though it's a bit of a brawl here, this is way in favor of the offense because their respawns are going to get here just so much sooner than the defense.
When they've taken full control of this high ground, they have both their DPSs up there. Farah and 76 are up there, and the Mercy's now up there too. They've been holding this ground for a while now. Chips finds himself in a precarious position, but I think it's not going to matter.
Yeah, Harry Hook got in the sniper's nest, and as soon as the offensive soldier is able to get in the defensive sniper's nest, there's not a whole lot the respawn team can do, and then with Tailspin, Chipjin as the only 2 people alive, that's enough for Envy to have just them to take the first point.
Yeah, they also had no answers for those high ground heroes too. I mean, Mangachu is the only one who can able to deal with them, and that's going to be a hook. Other than that, everyone else has to run around. So once that position was taken, they had no chance to take it back.
So we do see the offense rolling back out here. And right now, Envy's saying a pretty darn good time. In fact, that actually might have already been GG with how quickly they grabbed one in. But here comes the Wombo combo. Earthshatter in the barrage. Tailspin feasting the triple kill. Looking for Chance. Chance having to just run. Has absolutely nowhere to run. Tailspin had him beat. And Taimu just saying in chat, whatever emoji face that might be. But that pretty much says it all.
Yeah,
that 5. Pretty good.
There's hurt on the poke here. They're going to have to charge in, just a desperation kind of defense. They have to hold this here.
Earthshower does come down. Will it be enough? Both teams getting to the fray. Tailspin looking for the Mercy in the back. Gonna eat a flashbang and a left click from Wolf instead. Defense now with the Sound Bearer moving forward. 3 kills to their name. Make it 4. And EnVy not going to quite end this. Or will they? A huge res coming in. A 5-person res immediately brings up most of the EnVy team. And this could be GG. They're feasting off this time. Who gets a quick double kill? Tailspin back in the fray. Justice raining from above. And the Barrage going to finish this out.
Shifted again with a huge res. Man,
and they already say Lijiang, so our predictions about them wanting to go Lijiang, going to come into play. So we'll push for play the game here, which is almost certainly going to be Chips' res, and I fully agree. That res was absolutely game-changing.
EnVy just playing a much more solid game than NG Red, and this is the type of start that EnVy wants to come out. Looking into the rest of today's tournaments and more than likely tomorrow and then this weekend. These are the games that they need to push their confidence going forward.
Yeah, I mentioned it actually before we started the match that EnVy does not make mistakes. They hit their coordinations better than most teams, and we saw it there. We saw Earth Shatters into Barrage, and then we follow up with a different ultimate in the end as well. So they have the coordination to a much higher level than most teams do.
So as predicted, play the game will be Chips, and it's gotta be the res towards the end. And look at the position here. He's just waiting in the back. No one knows where he is. He comes in after the fight is over, gets the 5-man res, bringing up the entirety of the EnVyUs squad, and they're just able to turn this fight immediately in their favor. So well played to them. They're going to take King's Row, and we are going to be heading to Lijiang Tower.
Now, I don't think it's going to get any easier for NG Red ZP or Hacks. I just said it was going to be better. It's probably a little more of an opportunity for NG Red to sneak out a win here. But it's still going to be super difficult, and EnVy is still really good on King of the Hill, going back to their days. Of course, IDQD and Tailspin's no slouch on Koth. But I do think this is going to have more opportunity for NG Red, because King of the Hill, for the most part, has been banned out in the majority of these tournaments in the map pools, and we really probably haven't seen as much King of the Hill in the last 3 to 4 weeks as we did in the entirety of, the first few months. And
there's a very good reason for that. The reason for that is that 2CP maps have been banned, and now that 2CP maps aren't in the pool, it's just less likely that King of the Hill ends up being or making it to the end, because teams no longer have to waste their bans on 2CP maps that were always banned anyways. But before, teams had to split their bans between 2CP maps, which no one wanted to play, and tactical bans on payload maps. And what would end up happening is that the King of the Hill maps would get into the fray a little bit more, rather than being something the teams really wanted to play. Although King of the Hill has never had the vitriol directed towards it that 2CP in its current incarnation has. So King of the Hill is still liked by players to some extent, just not their favorite, which is why we do see so much of Hollywood in King's Row by comparison.
Well, and even any kind of favorable attitude people had towards it for a while was then destroyed by the 2-2-2 composition we saw come out for about a month that no one really enjoyed playing against, watching, anything like that. Now with one hero limit, I find King of the Hill much more enjoyable, and watching these comps come out, it's going to be usually, there's mirrors in some occasions, but, generally teams are going to run a little bit different compositions against each other.
Triple Tank has come out in full force here on King of the Hill from the scrims that I've watched, and that's why also Reaper has been included a lot. But Roadhog, Winston, Zarya together, it could very well be possible, or Winston, Zarya, or Roadhog, Winston, Roadhog, Zarya. I would be surprised to see other types of things. I think that also you're right about the whole map ban portion. A lot of it is that teams just like to scrim and practice on the payload maps. I think that goes both ways. They like to scrim more on the payload maps, maybe because they like the maps more, or just because they've been playing them longer since the very first closed beta portion, so they feel more comfortable on them.
All right, well, we are going to see something pretty interesting, and we do see on some King of the Hills, if they can get set up here, it is going to be NG Red running the El Presidente strat. That's why they're running the Reinhardt too, and they're just going to try to get set up as much as possible. Everything revolves around Wolf here.
And this is where we've seen Bastion, otherwise known as El Presidente, get a lot of value. And this has been an NG Red special. They've been running it a whole lot as of late. They've sort of defined their King of the Hill strategy by it, but Coco and Tailspin getting immediate kills here, not letting them set up, and Tailspin just going absolutely wild as Shan says no more, charges off the edge to reset. That was over before it even begun.
And that should be the last we see of it, because you can't get set up now. It's impossible. It maybe you have a chance in the first time. It's where they tried to run it again. Yeah, Wolf is going to switch to Genji. Chance is going to go on to a Tracer. Yeah, everyone changes up there. The Bastion strategy completely fails.
Now, you said they've been running it on King of the Hill, and I have seen it, but how much of it has been successful against the best teams in the world?
It's caught them off guard from time to time. It actually has given them an opening, but they usually have to do it the entire map. But look at this, Tailspin just laying in the rockets, able to take out Mangachu. Envy again just sort of feasting here at NG Red's expense. The last few people are going to get taken out, and again, pretty clean fight here from Envy, and they're not doing anything particularly special. They're just mechanically winning these fights early on, and then when you have a 6v4 or anything along those lines, you can just be more aggressive and push out the defensive team.
Put it on my tab.
Now the issue is, for teams on King of the Hill, much more than on Payload, games can snowball out of control very quickly. You have almost all of the players on EnVyUs with ult now, and nearly none of the players on NG Red, with the exception of nap time and Wolf with his sword soon, which would be extremely important, are going to have ult. And Envy's already up to 60%. It's going to be very hard for NG Red to break through to even win back the point.
Well, Tailspin knows where they're all setting up. He has a barrage at the ready. He's just looking for the right opportunity to unleash it. He's going to push the issue. I think that was a mistake. Wolf says absolutely not. Deflect kills Tailspin, and now he might be able to go with the Dragon Blade. Dragon Blade coming out. Wolf looking to make his mark. Takes out Taimu, looking for more. Slicing and dicing. Lucio having to run for his life, going to boop him back, and will take him out, in fact, as Internet Hulk, meanwhile in the back line, was doing what the rest of the team was not able to do, getting in on NG Red. So Envy, despite all that, is still going to hold.
Yeah, the Graviton came out, and then Internet Hulk just clicked them all to death with his Reaper, and I think he just got bored of Reaper, because now he comes up on Winston, one of his favorite heroes to play.
So NG right now, this is overtime. They have to stay on here, or it is going to be over. But Tailspin picking up 2 kills over the top, needs to just get a little bit more. And this is where overtime, you can't stack Tracers, and Winston's 1 hero limit. They have to win this fight soon, or it's going to be it. But slowly but surely, Internet Hulk picking up the kills on Winston. Only a few members remaining of NG Red. They can't get off the point. If overtime goes away, they will lose this round. But that is exactly where things are going.
I mean, they may have stalled it at the end, but the round was over pretty much after the very first team fight failed on the Bastion. They were able to get so much ult charge that the second team fight didn't go well at all. They were staggered in between those team fights. And when you lose the point and enough time has gone by, not only you do not have enough time to regain the point and maybe win the round, but you've given up so much ult charge that winning that 3rd or 4th team fight becomes so much more difficult.
Well, it looks like they're not going to be trying a Bastion strategy here, a little more standard, and we do finally see some McCree entering the game as Mangachu actually just dupes us, and he's going to go on Zarya instead. Never mind, no Cowboys. Taimu's playing the McCree, though.
So Envy right now, they are moving in, looking for first cap here, and they just get right on top of the point. They don't even care about fighting on the outskirts, and they're making NG Red come to them. And as a result, this is working out. They're getting pretty good poke. NG Red heavily damaged here. They have to back up, or they're going to start feeding kills. Wolf, though, able to turn the tables, does take out Internet Hulk. So first kill will be going to NG Red, and now they have an opportunity here if they're able to move in and do this just a little bit better. So Taimu and Harry Hook, though, coming back in for Envy, getting 2 kills. Bird going to take out Tailspin. Red Expert on the Harry Hook. Back and forth here from both teams, but overall, pretty good look here coming out from the side of Envy. It's back and forth, but NG Red will be going down. And even though they got the first control of the point in that sort of melee, EnVyUs is going to take it right back.
Yeah, I'm going to flip it back. Mangachu, I'm not sure what happened there. He might have suicided to come onto something different, but I doubt that's the case when you're 80% on a Zarya. So he might have just got booped off the edge there, and they just really need to kind of group up, wait for a more coordinated push, hopefully with Red Expert's sound barrier too, and then really just target down chips, hope that that goes well for him.
Wolf and Bird got the first 2 picks of that team fight. They had the opportunity to take it and be able to turn it around.
Mangachu does take out Time Move to start this out. NG Red, pretty good opening. They're going to move in. Graviton Surge will be on the menu. Envy's pretty grouped up. The group hug is going to happen, but the sound barrier going to shield them from potential the worst, but doesn't even matter. Mangachu is his own follow-up, getting the triple kill here for NG Red. But Chips, being the spoiler yet again, will res him back up, and here comes a counter Graviton from the side of Envy from Coco. Coco says, you can do that, I can do that too. But the resurrection coming out now from NG Red. Very back and forth, a beautiful team fight from both sides, and NG Red starting to turn this more in their favor.
Yeah, Bread Expert is really carrying on Lucio here. He's been hitting his sound barriers at the correct timing as well, also with a couple nice environmental kills coming out of him. It's a map that Lucio can really shine on as opposed to a payload or something like that, and Bread Expert's playing a good game.
Naptime finally able to get out a clutch res that the Chip Gen has on the first 2 maps, and that didn't secure them that team fight. Now it's on NG Red to build some ult and get as much as possible. That's not how you do it. Tailspin and Taimu get 2, and here comes the opportunity, and you take it right back.
Tailspin and Taimu being the Bash Brothers, just getting kill after kill, trading off, and they're just going to take out NG Red in style. And NG Red, again, just sort of getting picked off one by one. Nothing too flashy, but definitely dominant coming out from Envy.
No, and those are the mistakes that NG Red cannot make against the best teams. They had control of the point. And I understand you want to push spawn a little bit, you want to stagger people, you want to gain ult charge, but they had 2 people picked off, and he was able to take it, and now it's going to be harder on them.
No, absolutely. We do have the sound barrier coming out from the side of NG Red. They're trying to take position here on the point. Naptime does have res in the back, so he's going to be able to bring up those fallen heroes. But Envy pushing the issue. Death Blossom, sound barrier coming up, but Internet Hulk doesn't get anything as Chance getting killed. I think Bread Expert just booped 2 people off the edge, so NG Red making their point here. They are able to get control and muscle out Envy, so I gotta say, taking Envy the King of the Hill has been a smart maneuver here for NG Red. Even though they are not winning right now, they've been playing this much closer than they did on King's Row.
Yeah, they're very much just using the environment to their advantage. That was 4 environmental kills in that last fight, and even a team like EnVyUs makes the mistake of trying to push through that one corridor against Lucio and absolutely punished against it.
And there's a big advantage in knocking people off the edge, because now Bread Expert has Lucio ult again. He's going to use it there, might have a good chance to win this team fight.
Everyone going to be sucked in there. Both teams feeling the might of the Graviton Surge, but Tailspin Taimu once again coming in with the cleanup. Naptime might have to burn his res a little bit earlier here, and he does. He's under pressure from Tail. Tail forces out the res. The rest of NG Red is coming back up, but it might be too late as Envy just feasting here, getting kill after kill.
Securing the objective.
Yeah, NG Red doesn't have res now. It's going to be very hard for them. They have one last shot of winning the team fight. They have to kill Chip the Gen in the beginning. Harry Hook is going to have sound barrier. Wolf's going to have to go big for them to have any shot.
Wolf is trying to go big, but Tailspin just sends a Helix rocket to his feet and takes him out. Here comes Tail looking to fire in just a little bit more. Does have attack visor. Everyone has everything into their sights. Bird going to activate it in turn. But Envy now definitely with the advantage momentum-wise in this fight. As much as Chance trying to turn his favor, and Internet Hulk going with the Death Blossom, gets the triple kill. And that might be the dagger here as Envy going to take Lijiang. And they will defeat NG Red 2-0 there, and that puts Envy now 2-0 in our group stage here thus far.
Play of the game.
I thought NG Red put up a pretty solid fight on Lijiang. Point 1 did not go great, and that was because of the pick on Bastion. Of course, that's been going well for them, but if you don't win the first team fight, it snowballs out of control, as we saw. They put up a much better fight on the second point, but being too aggressive, overextending, gets 2 people killed, loses them the point. Without that, they might have been able to send that to a 3rd round.
Yeah, I mean, they're 0-4 so far in group stages, but they look pretty good. I know that sounds kind of odd, but it's surprising. They've played better than I expected them to play, and yes, it was not very close against EnVyUs, but they was very close against Luminosity, and NG Red, despite the record of their games tonight, has somewhat impressed me a little bit. I think they're getting much better, and they're close to being able to start taking maps off these teams.
Yeah, I thought Bread Expert played great, especially on Lijiang. I thought Chance played a great Lijiang and had a really good King's Row on the first map. Not as maybe great throughout the other maps. I think Bird also continues to have a good showing in these matches. I think that was a good pickup for them. I think they've been playing better than they were previously. I also want to see how they continue into this weekend.
All right, so we're going to be taking a short break. The next matchup will be EnVyUs versus Luminosity Gaming. I believe LG is just finishing up their last set, so we're going to be getting into that as soon as possible. Definitely going to be the premier matchup in Group A. We'll determine top seeding Group A in all likelihood. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss it. This is the Alienware Monthly Melee, sponsored by Alienware, presented by Curse, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.